Welcome back, YouTube. We are once again playing the best deck in the Duelist Cup, Scareclaw, and as always we are playing this as a going second build, but all joking aside, I was expecting to go up against a ton of Snake Eyes players. I barely saw any, and I saw a lot of other YouTubers reporting the same things, that the first stage of the Duelist Cup there was a lot more rogue decks, which I don't mind. But anyway, we're getting right into the first replay, and we're actually going to get hit with Nibiru and be able to successfully play through that pretty well in this matchup, as you'll see. So Lightheart for the field spell. We'll get Reichheart. Reichheart search a rival. And we're going to Visas, pop. Okay, so rival first, and now we get hit with Nib. And I think I kept feeling like the Nibiru wanted to trigger in my opponent's hand, so that's why I didn't go straight for bringing back the Lightheart with the Visas. I'm going to called by on that because that was about to resummon something onto the field, and that will make our talents live. My hopes were if we drew like an Arrival plus a Scareclaw Kashtira, we could have actually maybe still went for lethal damage. So that's why I was trying to avoid any more bodies coming on the field. But we'll Arrival for Visas, which allows us to bring back the Lightheart from the graveyard. We'll link into another Lightheart to get a follow-up field spell. And then we're going to banish for Vicious Astrolaud, pop their Nibiru, and we have a ton of damage we can swing for here. And since those are 3 effect monsters now, we couldn't use the Nibiru token. We can bring out the Lightheart. I'm sorry, Triheart. And yeah, Triheart, bring back from the graveyard. Now we'll get the Scareclaw Kashtira. Could have held on to this for more follow-up, but I just wanted to have that extra protection for the Triheart in the battle phase in case they made any sort of link plays. And we set the... No, yeah, well, our opponent scoops there anyway. Alright, second replay. Once again going second here. And we are playing against Numeron with the actual best OTK deck, Scareclaw, so they're soon going to find out. Alright, we'll go Rhoda. Rhoda will get ashed. And I'm not going to use the call by. I'm not getting super greedy. We already have Reichheart in hand. I could have Rhoda'd for Riseheart, but it's not really necessary. So we'll just go through the standard line of play here. Grabbing the field spell with Lightheart. And our opponent has 2 back row, and I had a feeling one of them was a Solemn because on summon something kept triggering. So they're going to Solemn Judgment the field spell. Luckily we already have Arrival in hand. So Arrival, bring back the Reichheart. Now Scarecash will banish the Arrival. And we have the Straddle in hand as well to gain attack off of the Megaclops. Unfortunately, we don't have a level 3 Scareclaw in the graveyard. We could have potentially went for lethal here. So we'll set that call by, and you'll see this actually ended up saving the duel. So they'll draw a Eldritch for turn, and we're going to be able to call by the Eldritch, which saves our Triheart. And essentially save the duel for us there. Alright, third duel. Pretty bad hand. I mean, we have Max C, but our opponent immediately goes with Duality, so I know they're not going to be special summoning. Duality into a Prosperity. Okay, and yeah, you can pretty clearly tell this is an Umi control deck. This deck can be pretty annoying, but they don't have the Kairushin on the field already. Sea Stealth Attack, another annoying card. I'm just going to set the Super Poly in hopes that they summon another monster, which they did. So we'll ditch one of the Ghost Spells to Super Poly into Garura. And that will cause our opponent to end their turn. Alright, so we'll go field spell first, get Reichardt. Reichardt's going to get hit with Ash. I'm just going to bring out the Scareclaw Kashtira and go for max damage here because a direct attack with the Garura does double damage, so 3k. And then we can actually use that Garura, which is level 6, to make a Chaos Angel with Reichardt. And we're going to banish the Sea Stealth attack because that card is just annoying. They're going to Call By on the Garura, which will negate the draw 1. Not a huge deal. I think I could have even Ghost Spelled that, but I didn't think it was worth it. And we're going to link off the Scare Cash just to get a follow-up field spell. Okay, so now they bring out the Kairishin. I misclicked here. I probably wanted to keep on the Chaos Angel on the field, but based off of our next draw, it actually worked out because they were able to clear our field and we draw Fenrir for turn, and we're basically just going to be able to go for game with Fenrir. So we'll search with Fenrir, go into battle, and I'm going to target the Sea Stealth attack because they would have just been able to dodge with that card if I targeted the Kairishin. So banish both of those, and yeah, we have game. All right, this time I believe our opponent forced us to go first, and we pretty much have a full Kashtira hand. So we'll get hit with Maxi. We're going to Call By on that. Again, our Triple Tactics talent will be live now because of that. So we'll field spell for Unicorn. Summon Unicorn first, grab the Birth. Then we'll go Triple Tactics, and just because I knew I was going to be able to bring out a Rise Heart, I just wanted to spin a card back from their hand. So I think our opponent realizes that here, and they're just going to scoop. All right, set 3, and it looks like Tenyi Sword Soul. I'm going to Maxi and actually resolve it in this game. And for some reason, our opponent decides to really take the Maxi challenge. They don't have really anything to end on. They're just allowing us to draw cards. And I'll just comment here quickly while they unnecessarily combo off. As you've seen, I'm playing this as a little bit more of a Kashtira variant with Scareclaw. Decided to opt out of the Manadium cards and just throw in 3 Kashtira Unicorn as just a good bait. So you'll see here, I summon the Unicorn, and most people, not knowing if I'm playing just pure Kashtira, are going to hit the Unicorn with an Imperm or an Ash, and now we're free to pretty much do our Scareclaw line. So I activate the Defanging before I summon the Lightheart, making it untargetable and indestructible. We get the field spell. Reichardt will now be able to draw as well. It's also going to get hit with Imperm. That's not a big deal, though. Field spell will pop that. We're going to go into Chaos Angel. Banish the Vishuddha. And then we're going to banish Visas and Reichardt for Astrolaud. And we have enough for lethal damage. And I knew that card in their back row was just the Sword Soul Emergence, so not really a threat. All right, next duel. Yeah, okay. So we have, as you can see, Harpy's Feather Duster in the hand against Trap Trick. So this is a pretty one-sided duel here. So they'll Holotea, which will not get destroyed now, but we're going to wipe their entire field for the most part. So Unicorn, grab the Birth, Blown into Lightheart for the field spell. And the great thing about Birth in the Scareclaw deck is that if we're able to get that into our hand, or if we hard draw it opening, we can use that to bring back the Scareclaw Kashtira for an extra body under our Tri-Heart. Alright, we're going to boost up with the Straddle, grab Blown, and Astra. So now we have double piercing damage, but we can just pop with the field spell, and we'll swing for 5,300 2 times. Alright, last duel. Once again, I think our opponent forced us to go first here. Pretty solid opening hand, though. So, Kashtira field spell for Unicorn will get hit with Max C. And I quickly realized then, off of the Unicorn effect, that we're playing against Dark Magician. Dean's going to hate me for this one, but once I saw it was Dark Magician, I just decided to take the full Max C challenge. So, we'll grab the Reichphobia. Grab Visas. Bring back the Lightheart. Now we can get a draw off of Reichheart as well as the Arrival. I'm going to use those two for Barone because we drew another Scareclaw that I can special summon. So we bring out the Tri-Heart, and then, as I said previously, the Birth can now bring back the Unicorn for an extra body if we needed. Or the Scareclaw Kashtira. This was unnecessary. I'm not sure why I did this. Definitely did not need 2 Scareclaw Kashtiras on the field, but just in case they took care of one of them. So they're going to fuse into the Dragon Knight. And they're going to hit us with Swords of Revealing Light, which on my turn, if we made it there, I could just pop with the field spell. Or with Barone, for that matter. Dark Magical Circle. That's probably the biggest threat from Dark Magician. Because it could, without the defanging on the field, it would be able to affect the Tri-Heart. So, normal summon Rod. Get the fusion spell. And I think they just realized that they weren't going to be able to get around the Tri-Heart effect. Alright guys, and here's the deck list. I'm not going to really go over this too hard. I've done a bunch of videos on Scareclaw. Really just want to comment on some of the new additions. So, as many of you know, with a lot of the Kashtira cards being limited, Fenrir to 1 now, decided to throw in 3 Kashtira Unicorn. The 1 Rise Heart as just an extender if we can't get into our Scareclaw play. 2 Scareclaw Kashtira. The 1 Birth, 1 Field Spell, both limited to 1 now, unfortunately. And as I said, the Kashtira Unicorn is just a great distraction for a lot of your opponents, where they're going to waste their Impermanence or an Ash Blossom on that card. It's a free special summon, and then you can just normal summon your Reichheart uninterrupted. Other than that, like I said, built for going second, so 2 Triple Tactics Talent, 2 Super Poly, 2 Book of Eclipse. This card is great in this deck because the one drawback of this card is obviously your opponent being able to draw cards equal to the amount of monsters you flip face down. But with this deck, we're just trying to OTK, and we have cards like Scareclaw Balone that can do piercing damage to those flip down monsters and just go for game. So essentially the draw effect of Book of Eclipse doesn't really come into play. Still running the 2 enemy controllers, just good for going second, dodging imperms and things like that. Being able to steal an opponent's monster to help us go for lethal. And yeah, the only thing I would maybe consider changing is like throwing in, I've said this in other videos, when I'm playing pure, I guess I wouldn't necessarily call this pure Scareclaw, but 3 Arrival, I don't think that would be a bad idea, because if your normal summon gets destroyed or somehow you get interrupted from having 3 bodies on the field for Tryhard, the Arrival is just your best follow-up for that. And it's a card that I wouldn't mind hard drawing in your opening hand, as well as drawing off of talents, as you saw in one of the replays. But that's going to wrap up today's Master Duel video. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, please consider subscribing, liking the video, and we will catch you in the next one.